Hello, everyone. So today we are going to talk about the last topic when it comes to our syllabus. So that's management functions for small business and medium scale enterprises. So when it comes to management functions, how we are going to deal with the small businesses. So every business, we have to talk what are the management functions. So whatever the business, whether it is a small scale business or whether it is a large scale business, for every business, so we are talking about as management functions, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So once you know about these functions, so it's very easy for you to write this question. So the thing that I want to tell you is when it comes to these examination questions, so definitely you will be having questions to select. So when you're selecting these questions, management functions for SME is kind of an easy topic that you can select and write down if you're providing the right information. So make sure that you provide the right information. So I'm gonna use a book for this to explain uh, the what do you call our topic, what we are talking. So this is the book that I will be using. So actually, this book was written by me, the Management and Organizational Design. This book. So this is from this one. I'm gonna teach you what are the management functions. Okay. So if you want this book, I have given you my telephone number. It's 078 480 078 480 8383. You can contact me in any time if you want to obtain the book. So most of the parts relating to entrepreneurship, what we have discussed, and the management topics, most of the parts will be covered in this book as well. So if you want, you just send me WhatsApp message. That would be enough, and make sure that you collect it if you want it, right? Uh, because there are always what I get a question is that most of the students they ask, don't we have a book to refer study? So this is a kind of a book that I would be recommending for you to go through with, and I'm going to teach you with the book. This from the introduction, this is the content of that book. So let me come into the management, right? So what is management? So when it comes to management, so it's very important that you want to know management comprises with planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. If you have seen the current condition of the country recently in 2022, this is the way how we had to face when it comes to country management, right? When we are talking about the management, no matter whether it's a family, organization, or a country, the absence of proper management would bring an utter failure in every, right? If you are not going to do a proper management for your organization, and definitely you will collapse, you will fall off. And let me bring what is management. I will make it a little bit bigger so you can read clearly. So this is right. So this is the book that I was referring. So you can use this one. And with the marketing subject also, I referred you a book. And I couldn't show you the book cover. Anyway, I will be showing you at the seminars series. I will be showing the both books. So if you want to study more, you can get it from me because still it is not given for any bookshop. So you can contact me and get it. If not, the things what I will be teaching. So just listen and you can write it down, write the papers. Well, okay. I'm just telling for the students who likes to get additional information and write up. Okay, when it comes to this understanding management, so let's look what management is about, right? So simply management is about planning, organizing, leading, and controlling scarce resources effectively and efficiently to achieve organizational goals and objectives. Now, this definition is a very comprehensive and a very completed definition what I have given you, right? Every organization, they need to plan. What we do under planning? We look into our goals and objectives. We set our goals and objectives, and then we are developing strategies to achieve these goals and objectives, right? We set our goals and objectives. When we develop uh, strategies to achieve the goals and objectives, then what we'll be doing, we are taking this one into a documentation. So that is really important. You take it into a documentation, because once we see this, we feel it. Think about, okay, when someone says, I love you, right? So that is only for that moment, okay. But when you get a letter saying that I love you, or if you have got a message or text or email or whatever, there's something that you can be that to keep on the interest, and to make sure that, of course, it's like a document that you would be believing, you would be trusting. So this plan is also, it would be explaining these are our goals, objectives, and these are the strategies that we have to follow. Once the organization is deviating from its strategies, we know we are deviating from the organizational goals. So that is quite critical. And when it comes to organizing is about, we know what are the resources we have. We would be distributing our resources as per the customers want, right? So, and as per the customers want, as per the employees want, and we would be distributing responsibilities, tasks, by recognizing every employee's skill set, their knowledge. We would be looking at it, and we are distributing these things as well. So that's what we call as organizing. When it comes to organizing, it's really important that you want to make sure that you are giving the right designation for right ones, the right authority for right ones. So that is important. And next one, leading. Leading, you know how we are going to lead an employees and how we are going to lead our company. So you may developing strategies for this thing, and whether am I going to do a transformational leadership, whether am I going to do a transactional leadership. What do you mean by transformational leadership? Transformational leadership is about how we are going to transform someone. Now, if you take leader Prabhakaran is a transformational leader. Now, if you take our ones, අපි කෙනෙකුට කාට හරි what you call the cyanide, given cyanide, okay, eat and die. If we ever ask, will they ever do that? Of course not. They would be more look into how am I going to save myself. So it is really important that you want to focus on how you are going to take different leaderships in different occasions. So normally we would call, if a leader can transform a person into someone else by letting them know what the goals and objectives are in the organization. So such leaders we call as transformational leaders. And the other leaders we call as transactional leaders. Transactional leaders, what they do, they give something and they expect something in return. They give bonuses, and they give, more merit pay. They would be appraising. So likewise, they will be doing many things. And in return, they will be expecting the employees to work well. So that is also working, right? So it's like when you bribe your little kid at home, okay, I'm going to buy you a bike once you become the first in the class. For the bribe, they are working. So transactional leadership is like that. And when it comes to controlling, we are looking at whether set standards have been met. What are the set standards? Basically, the goals and objectives. And when it comes to goals and objectives, we set milestones and whether they have achieved these goals and objectives, standards. If it's not, we have to think whether our standards, whether our goals and objectives are not accomplishable, whether they are so difficult to accomplish, or else where we have gone wrong. So this is very much important for every organization that you want to focus on. What are the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling activities? And what is the importance here? We call it as scarce resources. Every small business, not only small business, every business, but when it comes, specifically when it comes to small businesses, whether the resources we have are less or more. What do you think? Less or more? Definitely. It's less. It's less. So therefore, what you have to do is effectively and efficiently you have to use these resources. Otherwise, it will be a waste. What do you mean by effectively? Effectively in the sense, how you would do the right thing at the first time. Efficiently means how we are going to do a thing without a minimal of, sorry, my laptop gets down. Okay. The minimal of wastage. So it's very much important that you want to focus on how we are going to do, utilize these resources effectively and efficiently. And why we are doing this one? Why we do all these resources and all effectively and efficiently? Ultimately, to achieve the organization goals and objectives. So there are a lot of goals and objectives when it comes to organization, maybe when it comes to increase the market share and to be the pioneer in the world, maybe to pioneer in the country. So like us, there are a lot of goals and objectives. So you have to see how the employees will be contributing to this. So that's what we are considering about management definition. So you can see, I'm not going to do that one. So you can read, if you want, you can read it by yourself. So definitely additional information that you would be providing will be advantageous for you also. So in simple terms, management is about what managers do. As we know, what managers do is about management. Management involves coordinating and controlling the work activities of others so that their activities are completed efficiently and effective. So what you have to focus is the management will be coordinating and controlling work activities. So that's, we do plan, we do organize, then we do go for leading. So likewise, we will be coming into different elements as per how we have to contribute to the management. And let me show you a little video on this one. Small businesses will move it. Small SME management. Right. So we'll just learn about several things, how SME will be managing things. Right. So it is very much important. Let me now you have watched, I think, this how important the small businesses are. First, let me show you that one. Then I will explain the importance of management for these small scale businesses. So for that, let me share the sound and let me share the sound from here. So you can watch it very carefully.
We hear a lot about large companies in the news, but small business is the engine of the U.S. economy. America is home to more than 28 million small businesses that employ 57 million workers. And when you add owners and employees together, that's a community of roughly 85 million hardworking Americans dependent on the success of small business, most of the private sector workforce. Small business owners are America's most important job creators. U.S. small businesses accounted for almost 2/3 of the net new jobs created between 1993 and 2013, a grand total of 11.8 million new career opportunities. In 2012, small businesses created more than 2.1 million net new jobs. Small businesses are the country's main job creators because they're often growing and looking for new markets to expand. To do so, they need additional employees along the way. Large businesses, on the other hand, generally stay the same size, hiring new employees to replace departing ones. Unfortunately, high taxes and recent government regulations in healthcare, finance, and labor disproportionately hurt small businesses and prevent them from growing and adding new jobs to the economy. Big business with big profits can afford to comply with red tape in a way that small businesses just starting out cannot. As a result, small businesses still haven't recovered completely from the Great Recession, and it shows by the chronically weak labor market. More than 94 million Americans are not working or actively looking for jobs. The labor force participation rate, which measures the percentage of employees and job seekers in the U.S., is less than 63%, the lowest figure since the late 1970s. To bring small businesses back and strengthen the job market, job-killing taxes and regulations must be rolled back. Job creators should be encouraged to hire more employees, not forced to reduce career opportunities. With 85 million people depending on the success of small business, it's easy to see why small business is too big to fail. For more information about small businesses, visit.
Now we'll see how the management works with these small businesses. So you could see the importance of small businesses. Because we are in a condition, we are in a place where the businesses are collapsed right now. Most of the businesses cannot survive. We'll see what, now I explained what management is. Let me show you management.
Hi, welcome to Education Leaves. In this video, you are going to learn management process. Let's start the video. First of all, you need to know what is a process. Process is a systematic way of getting things done. It converts input into output. Similarly, management is a process where human resources and material resources are brought together to fulfill the objectives of an organization. Management process is basically a process of setting goals, and leading the execution of any type of activities, such as a project or a process. Management process comprises these functions: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. Let's discuss each function separately. First one is planning.
Here you could see now they are coming up with several parts. Let me show you. They talk about planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. So normally we take planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So the staffing, directing, coordinating parts in this video, they have separated, but normally we discuss as leading. So it's, of course, you can discuss as a one thing, POLC, planning, organizing, leading, control. So normally, you know, when you lead things, you will be, looking into staff, how you are going to do staffing, and how you are going to do directing, how you are going to do guidance, and how you're going to do coordinating things. So we'll watch the rest of the video and we'll see.
Separately. First one is planning. Planning is the process of looking forward. It is basically deciding in the present about the future objectives, and it helps in determining the course of action to be followed for achieving those organizational goals. Planning depends on the mental state of the manager. It is a process that involves thinking before doing something. Steps involved in planning are collecting information, fixing the long-range objectives, developing policies, procedures, rules, etc. for the implementation of strategies, evaluate the action patterns, finding out the limitations, Number 2, organizing. Organizing is associated with effective utilization of the resources like men, machines, materials and money for achieving the objectives of the organization. The purpose of organizing is to guide, direct, arrange, coordinate, and control the activities related to production. Steps of organizing: identifying the work to be performed, classifying the work, assigning the groups or the individuals to work, delegating authority and fixing responsibilities. Number 3, staffing.
Now you have to make sure that whenever I'm showing you a video, it is important. So try to make your own note or listen very carefully, because anyway, I will be showing you with the note as well for this topic. But still, once you listen more and more, you will get to know what that is very easily.
Staffing is a constant and fundamental step in the management process. After determining the strategies, objectives, programs, policies and procedures, managers select a group of people by evaluating their knowledge and skills to work on that project. This process is called staffing. Staffing is the key to the efficient performance of other functions of management. Without capable personnel, an organization cannot perform the management functions like planning, organizing, control, etc. Activities involved in staffing are: utilizes and promotes manpower, selecting and recruiting suitable personnel, placement of manpower development, training and development of employees. 4. Directing. Directing is a process in which managers guide, instruct, and oversee the performance of the employees to achieve predetermined goals. It is the heart of the management process. If you want to describe it in simple words, it is actually providing guidance to the workers, to perform to the best of their abilities and capacities. Activities involved in direction process are leadership, communication, motivation, and supervision.
So you can see, under leadership, normally in under leadership, we are talking about communication, how to do a proper communication, how to communicate with our employees, and how we motivate them. Leadership, one of the main tasks is to motivate people, and how we are going to do the supervision in leadership. So that's why they're showing you this through, because they have taken staffing, directing, and coordination as separate ones. But when we are talking under leadership, so you can talk everything under these 3 categories.
5. Coordinating. In every organization, various departments perform different types of activity to reach organizational goals. It is important that the activities of different departments and work groups of the organization are harmonized. This function is called the coordinating function. It ensures the unity of action among work groups, individuals and departments. To achieve the organizational goal, all departments must operate in an integrated manner. Coordinating prevents conflict and overlapping so that the unity of the action remains unchanged. Sub-functions of coordination are: clear explanation of authority-responsibility relations, unity of command, unity of direction, and effective communication. The last function in management process is controlling. Planning is the beginning of the management process, while controlling is said to be the final stage of the management process. If planning is looking forward, controlling is looking backwards. Controlling is a primary target-oriented function of management. It is basically the comparison between actual performance and the standards of the company to ensure that the taken action was correct. So, every manager should monitor the activities of his subordinates.
So this part is very important. That's why I wanted to take it back. So now in the planning stage, what we do? In the planning stage, we look into how we are what are our goals and objectives, and how we are going to achieve this one. And we do prepare a plan. Then in organizing, we would be distributing task responsibilities and resources as per the skills and as per the resources that each department wants. And in leading, we do directing, staffing, coordinating, motivating, guidance. So we do them. And in controlling what we do, as I told you, we would be looking at whether the set standards have been met. So this is very important to know whether the company has been met with the standard expectation. So it's important that you want to focus on. Now, controlling is a primary target-oriented function of management. So we know we would be looking at the actual performance and the standards of the company. If there is anything deviated, we would be taking actions against that. So that is the thing that we want to talk about when it comes to this management. And we'll move on. So you can see efficiency refers what? Now we are talking about when it comes to management, we have to do plan, lead, organizing and controlling the scarce resources. Because we don't have a lot of resources. Right? If we have a lot of resources, we don't want to run a small scale business. We can run a large scale business, right? And efficiency and effective. Now I told you, efficiency is all about doing things right, right? Doing things right means now you have assigned a work, you do it right. You are not going to make it wrong. You are not going to waste things. You are trying to do it right. But effectiveness means you are doing at the very first time in a correct manner. So you will not be having any issues. So efficiency refers to to getting the highest output from the least number of inputs. Since managers deal with the scarce inputs, including resources such as men, machine, material, and money, managers are concerned with the efficient use of those resources. It is often referred to as doing things right. So, however, it is not just sufficient to be efficient. So it says it's not only being efficient, but of course you want to be effective too. So what you are looking at the effectiveness. Effectiveness is about often depicted as doing the right things, as I told you, right? We are trying to do the things at very first time you take the right decision. If you think that your partner is the best partner that you ever can find, so you have taken an effective decision. You have done the right thing at the very first time. If you are trying your wife, the partner for two, let's say you have an affair, it's not going to be work, so you will have another one. So it means a lot of wastages are there. What's wastaging? Your time, your money. Many things can be on waste. So the effectiveness goes down, right? So it's like that. So if you have taken the right decision at the very first time, you have taken an effective decision. So effectiveness is often depicted as doing the right things, which is the capability of producing the desired result or the ability to produce the desired output. So you can read. So let me bring you now, sorry. So let me bring you, I'm not going to do the traditional and modern weaves. I will be doing management functions that we want to talk about under our topic. So managers perform certain activities or functions as they efficiently and effectively coordinate the work of others. So Henry Fayol is a French businessman. So you know Henry Fayol, you may have heard. First, proposed in the early part of the 20th century that all managers perform 5 functions: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and control. So today these functions have been shortened to 4: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. It is similar. If you have no particular destination in mind, then any road will do. But it would be like where you go and where that is the actual road you want to go. දැන ගියොත් කතරගම නොදැන ගියොත් අතරමඟ වගේ. If you do not know what to do, how to do things, now once you do this degree also, when I ask why you are doing this degree, you should be able to explain me why you do this. Because normally when it comes to internal students, when we ask why you do this degree, nobody knows why. They just say, I want to get a pass. So it is not the goal. I always say getting a degree is not your goal, your ultimate vision. It is just a milestone that you are looking at, right? So that's for an example. This degree will let you to apply for a job, but it will not help you to get selected from the job. What will help you to get selected from the job? Your skills, your capacities, your abilities. So it's important for you to remember. And what we are talking under planning, setting goals, establishing strategies for achieving these goals, and developing plans to integrate and coordinate activities. Write it down. If you are not going to get the book, so please write it down, write the notes, so it would be important. Otherwise, if you have the book, of course, you can underline and you can do it by itself. And they set goals. They set goals, establish strategies for achieving those goals, and develop plans to integrate and coordinate activities. Okay? Set goals, establish strategies, and developing plan. Sorry. Now, managers are also accountable for coordinating and structuring work to accomplish the organizational goals. Now, all the organizations, what we do, we are thriving to achieve an organizational goal, right? So it should be coordinated and structured properly, right? So otherwise, we do not know how to organize things. When managers organize, they determine what tasks are to be done, who is to do them, how the tasks are to be grouped, who reports to whom, and where decisions are to be made. In general, in the organizing stage, the managers decide how the resources should be allocated, to whom they should be allocated, and the hierarchy of the organization to ascertain the chain of communication. What does that mean? Simply, when we do a plan, organizing, we are looking who is the most skillful person in doing this one. Who is always looking for new things to learn. Who should be done? What are the tasks that we have to be done? So as per that, we have to be very much conscious on how we are going to serve. And serve the employees and serve the customers. And when it comes to leading, so what you want to focus is, leading is something that once you get a leader, it's like that you would like to stay there. Think about once you find someone who is very much caring, who is very much loving, who is very much supportive for you in doing things, you feel more comfortable there. So the leader's function, actually the leadership function or the activity is about how the leaders can create these employees into real leaders. So it is important, you want to motivate them, you have to supervise them, you have to guide them, you have to direct, you have to do some staff development things. So likewise, a lot of things can be there. When managers motivate subordinates, help resolve work conflicts, influence individuals or teams as they work, select the most effective communications. So that is important. You have to look into, if I'm going to do a proper leadership, how am I going to do this one? So what is my leadership skills, and how am I going to be capable with this? Okay, so you can see the final management function is control. So it's like when you do a proper leadership, you can keep many more things with you, right? So even you can see how the some politicians still they can stay in the political field because of the way how they lead in the sense not only the the customers, not only the people who are in here. So you have to carefully look into how we are going to do practice these management functions, right? So controlling is also about that. They are the controlling function focus on whether the organizational set standards are met as planned. So we would be looking at in the controlling stage how we are going to set standard and how we are going to meet things in this state standard. So that is important. And the other important thing, definitely you want to focus this part in the examination also. Now, we were talking about the importance of small scale businesses, right? The importance of small scale businesses. Let me show you again small, medium businesses, how they have failed in SME issues in Sri Lanka. Let me show you this video and you may can understand. Okay, this is important. Again, you just watch protecting SMEs during global disruption, because once you do not have a proper management for the to save SMEs, small scale businesses will not be able to survive. So this is important. You can write down your own notes. Everyone knows SME is the backbone of the Sri Lanka. Right? So you can see a lot of SMEs are there in Sri Lanka. And the people who are working there, 90% of business. Of course, SME actually had to face with a huge problem with COVID-19 because a lot of SMEs had to shut off. Problem is when the pandemic hit these small businesses, they wanted to find a new avenue how to keep these businesses for a longer period of time, how they are going to survive in this business. Okay, so you could see there is a huge problem when it comes to what do you call this, SME. So this video I just wanted to show you again. I have shown you this one again, but let me show you what is the role of the SME in economy first, and how this would be important, why we need to manage these small scale businesses. And when it comes to SME management functions, those are the functions what we learn about. Then I want to focus on significance of management. So let's first look into this video clip.
For a large share of total employment, job The role of SMEs is quite substantial in many countries, especially in emerging and developing countries. SMEs account for a large share of total employment, job creation, and GDP in many emerging economies. Now that is really important, especially if we take into account that 600 million jobs will be needed in the next 15 years to absorb a growing global workforce, mainly in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. Now, new jobs boost living standards and foster social cohesion in a country. And therefore, SMEs are one of the main factors of
So let me bring here. Normally SME, when it comes to SME, it will be creating jobs for the employees, right? For the potential labor in the country. So that is really important that you want to know why we are having these SMEs and what's the importance of giving a proper knowledge about management for the SMEs. That's what we are going to learn under significance of management. I will be coming into that. First, I will be showing you this one because it gives you job creation as well as it will be bringing social peace,
economic growth
and
social peace. Without a robust and healthy SME sector, this cannot be achieved. Let's take the example of South Korea. While that country is associated with giants like Samsung, Hyundai, LG, SMEs in Korea account for more than 80% of total employment and about 50% of total value added. SMEs also played a large role in the transformation of Korea into a high-income industrialized country during the last quarter of the
Actually, we have heard earlier also මේ රට කොරියාවක් වගේ කරන්න එපා කියලා කියන්නේ කොරියාව වගේ කියලා කියන්නේ සමහරලාට අපිරිසුදුවට අපිලිවෙලට ගොඩ තියෙනවා නම් if you have seen if somewhere is very dirty and messy and all you say do not make this a Korea. So it means South Korea was not a country which was very much developed, right? Earlier it was not that much developed country. But suddenly they came up with a huge economic boom, especially because of SMEs. Because they know how to manage the businesses properly. Then most of the SMEs, they have come into industrialization with a proper management. So that is why you want to know. Now, normally when it comes to management, we know most of the SMEs, they start today. It will be there for 2-3 months. Then after that, it closes. Even you may have seen vegetable shops, fruit shops, whatever. Why is that? Because they do not know what their goals are. They do not know what the plan. They do not know how to control things. When the things are going out of the control, still they have no clue where we are going wrong, right? And thinking and blaming the country, maybe blaming the price stability. Maybe you can't do that. You have to be very carefully looked in what you are going to do here. Okay.
20th century. Not surprisingly, SMEs are always high on the agenda of the government there. Of course, we should not conclude that all SMEs are drivers of growth and job creators. SMEs can differ greatly in their role in the economy. A lot depends on the skills of individual entrepreneurs, their attitude, and willingness and ability to grow their business. But on the whole, SMEs play an important role in many economies. And on average, they contribute more to employment in low-income countries than in high-income countries. Now that we have established that SMEs play an important role in many economies, what can we say about SME finance? Well, the first thing to note is that SMEs do need external funding. Of course, all enterprises start small, and at the early stage in their development, they use primarily internal funds, the owners, their families, and friends.
And I want to bring you a very special, important thing when it comes to this funding. Actually, what we see is when it comes to the fundings of these businesses, it is very clear the SMEs are struggling to find funds, right? So probably you are using your own funds, and probably you may be asking from friends or family or whomever. You could remember even Siddhalepa Vidamahatya started his business from 2000 or 3,000 rupees, as I could remember, with the money that what do you call that, Nandamma, mother-in-law, has given, right? So it's like that. So you are hardly finding this money to do. When you see, now definitely you have to invest this money when you are developing the business. When you see the money is expanding, and even once you start the businesses, you would be using the money or the income that you get. ලැබෙන ආදායම, what will you be doing? You will be using to do what? To do your own things, family things. Doing a business is not like getting,
But eventually,
sorry, doing a business is not like doing a job. When you do a job, of course you do a job for what? To get what you want, to live your family and to live your life. But when it comes to this one, it is not like that. Businesses, you cannot take money out from businesses. It is a critical thing. So you have to be very, that is why we want real management here. That is why we want management, how to plan things, especially money, how to plan money, how to control these resources in the most effective and efficient manner, and what we are going to lead, what we are going to control and all. So these things are really important. Okay, let me show you the video back.
in order to grow, SMEs will need external funding. They need external finance to grow, invest, and acquire new technology to increase productivity. Without financing, they may not be able to expand to compete in regional and/or global markets, or even establish business linkages with larger firms and position themselves in value chains.
So actually, now you could see why we need small businesses for our country, and what is the significance of doing a proper management. We are going to see now, when you are into SMEs, I'm not going to give a large and lengthy note for you for this management thing, as you have already learned about what management is. So the definition you have to remember, and the functions you should be able to explain in briefly: planning, leading, organizing, and controlling, and how these things can be significant. What is the significance of management for organizations and for society? If you look into you can see management plays an exclusive role in modern society. Peter Drucker has delineated the essence of management as underdeveloped countries are undermanaged, right? If you now look into Sri Lanka, what happened to Sri Lanka? As it was undermanaged, as it was poorly managed, it still remained as a developing country, underdeveloped country, and the country almost like collapsed. So it indicates the significance of management at large. Once you do a proper management, the country, the organizations, everything will be functioning properly. So let's see what are the advantages to the organizations. Simply, what are the advantages to SMEs, right? So businesses. So the first thing is, when we are into management, in the sense, it gives us a sense that we want to develop objectives and goals. So determination of objectives and goals, because once you have a goal, you know you have to reach there. You have to go there, and you will be always stressed. How am I going to go there? How am I going to achieve these things? The success of various operations of an organization mainly depends on the identification of its objectives and goals. They are identified and laid down by the management. Goals and objectives should be written and communicated with all the other in the management and among all at large. So you could remember when I was talking about this, what do you call Disneyland, and in most of the aspects, you have to focus on that employees needs to know what goals and objectives are. You may work in probably. Do you know what are the goals and objectives and the vision and mission of the company? Do you know? How many of you know? I don't think that you know properly. Some actually, I was when I was now normally I'm doing a lot of training programs for these corporate sectors. When I'm asking, do you know what the goals and the vision mission of your company? Very rarely answers. Why is that? People has no idea what the company goes and what we are doing. If you look into the Disneyland, the advertisements I have shown you from the previous sessions as well, so you could clearly see they are highly focused on the vision and the mission of the company. They know what to do to make people happy. They know what to do to be the most creative, innovative, and developing products for the entertainment world, because they are focused on that. Unless you are focused on a thing, it would be very difficult for you to survive. So remember, setting goals and objectives for a company will not only allowing the company owners and the management to see where they want to go and what they want to do, but it will be showing the way for the employees also what they want to focus on, what they want to thrive for. And the second one is achieving objectives. So the first one is what? Determination of objectives and goals. Now we are talking about the advantages of management to the organization, achieving the objectives. So it is the management that directs the group effort toward the achievement of various objectives. It brings human and non-human resources together, because once we know what my objective is, we would be relating and coordinating almost many things together. And the third one is meeting challenges. How we are going to meet the challenges. All the policy decisions of an organization are taken by the management. It keeps in touch with the existing environment and predicts what is going to happen in the future. Through better planning and control, management directs a concern to meet the demands of the changing environment. So the thing that you want to focus is, once you know once you prepare your plan, you know your SWOT. You know what are my weaknesses. You know what are my strengths. You know what are my weaknesses, strengths, opportunities, and threats. Because when you do a plan by doing a SWOT analysis, by recognizing what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and all. So you would have a better plan, right? So that is why, while some organization collapses with corona and with this current economic condition, still there are some organizations, small scale maybe, still they are surviving. Sometimes the medium scale businesses are collapsing, but still the small scale businesses are surviving. Because of why? Because they know what to do and how to do very clearly. Because once they know what the plan is, they can meet the challenges very easily. So it is a one thing that you want to talk. Meeting challenges and provides innovation. Because management always try to bring new ideas, new visions, right? New ideas. So it is very important that you would be and promote innovation within the organization, because we know the organizations are always changing, the environment is changing, you have to get adjusted for them. And smooth running of the business. When it comes to smooth running of the business, management helps in the smooth running of the business through better planning and control, as the management steers to proceed with set standards. It ensures the standards are met. As we discussed earlier also, the businesses, the organizations, they always focus on whether the standards, we are setting our standards basically through our organizational goals. Once we set standards, it ensures whether the standards are met. So that's important. And advantages to the society. Now, we were talking about earlier advantages to the organization. Now we are going to talk about the advantages to the society. Give me a second. So you can see, first one, optimum utilization of resources. Why? Now we were talking about when it comes to management, planning, organizing, leading, controlling scarce resources effectively and efficiently. So it itself, it says you need to utilize your resources, what you have, the resources, most optimum manner, right? So what are the resources every business is having up with? Land, labor, capital, and other resources, right? So you need to focus on what? Efficiency and effectiveness. Now I was describing you about what is efficiency and what is effectiveness. So you have to focus on that. The other one is social benefits. So what are the social benefits that the society will be getting once the SMEs practice a proper management? Management raises the standard of living of the people by providing good quality products at the lowest price. It also encourages amity and the wealth in the society through optimum use of scarce resources. Now, once you are doing a proper management for your organization, you know you are doing an optimum use of scarce resources, right? When you do an optimum use of scarce resources, definitely you are not spending a lot. Your wastage, when your efficiency is getting higher and higher, your wastages go down. When your effectiveness go higher and higher, you will not do wrong things. You would do the right thing at the first time. It again would be advantageous for you. So you would be able to provide the products at a lowest price. Because you know, when the wastages are high, these wastages, costs, or everything will be added to your product price. ඒගොල්ලෝ waste කරනේම ඔක්කොම අන්තිමට product price එකට තමයි add වෙන්නේ. But when this is lower, definitely the society will be beneficial. Why? You get quality products at a lowest price. Quality, I want to say you, quality always depends on customers' perception. I may say a PETA toy is a very quality one because for this price, it is a quality one. I got it for 20 rupees. රුපියල් 20ට අරගෙන මේක දවසක් පාවිච්චි කරත් ඇතිනේ. So it means so it means that is the quality level we expect. So even it is broken, we do not want to worry about it. So likewise, so you would have to think, when the organizations are providing manufacturing products at a lowest cost, they can provide quality products for the customer's perception. So it is important thing. And the other one is where I was talking about social benefits. Role in national economic development. So the management is a crucial factor in economic and social development, right? So development of a nation primarily depends on the quality of management of its process, because you could see, you experienced that one from our country also. The country collapsed because there was no proper management for the country. When the resources are poorly managed, national economic development would be an utter failure. So it's same for the SMEs as well. So once you are not properly managing your business, definitely you would be in an utter failure, right? Once you fail, it is not a good thing even for the society, right? Because customers are expecting your products. Customers may have an interest over you. Because of a poor management, if you fail, that would be a problematic thing. Employment. The growth and modification of activities of the managers in organizational generate more employment opportunities for society. The requirement is highly essential to a country like Sri Lanka. So, when it comes to small businesses, they are the backbone of creating employment opportunities. So, once you do a proper management for the organization, so definitely you as a small scale business, you would be able to show and give and provide a very good employment opportunities for the labor in the country. So that is an important thing. So these are the factors that I want to bring you under management functions in small scale businesses. Management definition you want to know, and the management functions you should be able to briefly describe, and you should be able to explain what are the significance of management to the organization and to the society. So this is the book I have used to explain you all these notes. So just so as I told you, as I have given you my phone number, so you can talk to me, not talk to me, you can send me just a WhatsApp message and ask anything if you want. But do not ask about exam assignments. I'm not sure about them because I'm not handling. It's just pertaining to the things that I will be teaching. And so if you want, as I told you, you can contact me. If you want the book, if you can contact me and take. And as this is the last session in this syllabus, make sure you study all the topics well, so you would be able to get good marks for your examinations. So thank you and have a nice day.